Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 3's trailer came out last night and it looks so good. It's funny we got to see Guardian's character 3 times this year. Actually in last 3 or 4 months, but none of them was their own full-length movie. And despite MCU's recent project being a mixed bag, I'm really excited for this. Yeah, I don't learn my lessons easily. But I hope Disney will let James Gunn do his thing. James Gunn do your thing. Because his filmmaking style is so unique and entertaining. His movies have so much silliness and goofiness, yet it's still emotionally engaging and fulfilling towards character arc. Also, this will probably be his last MCU movie for a while, since he is now the co-head of DC Studios and he will be focused on building up DC after this. He called this movie the end of an era, and I wish the best for his future. Anyways, coming to the trailer, the first shot shows Guardian landing on some unknown planet surrounded by its residents. One of the young ones throws a ball towards Drax, and Drax, being Drax, throws it back with all his might, not realizing the damage he is about to do. He had a daughter, right? Did he used to play with her like this? He may as well have killed her himself if that's how he played with her. Oh, okay. But in Drax's defense, all the young ones he interacted with are super strong, be it Groot or your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Moving on, throughout the trailer we see glimpses of Rocket Raccoon's past, and it's easy to tell that Rocket will be the core focus of this movie. Also, it feels Rocket might be dying in the movie, and it makes sense that this is how his character arc ends. In the first movie, he was the most selfish one, and even in the second movie, we see him being arrogant, but he definitely was part of the Guardian family. Let's not forget, he is the only Guardian who survived Thanos' snap and lived without them for 5 years. I know Nebula survived too, but she wasn't a Guardian yet and didn't have any emotional bond with them. So, I'm sure Rocket must be a changed character now. We didn't get to see him much in Holiday Special, so not sure how he will act now. Maybe he'll act the same while caring for them from inside. He understood the importance of Guardians and he probably will not let them die again. So maybe he will sacrifice himself to save others, ending his arc in the best way possible. Almost like Tony Stark's, who started out as an arrogant character but ended up being the one to make the sacrifice to save the whole universe. In this shot, we see them wearing colorful spacesuits floating towards something. The red is definitely Drax, yellow is probably Quill, the other three might be Nebula, Groot, and maybe Kraglin or Gamora. But no Rocket. I'm pretty sure he won't fit in any of these. So either Marvel deleted him from this scene or he is missing. Maybe that's what it is. Rocket leaves them without telling to maybe explore his past or meet his old family and friends. Because later in the trailer we get to see him embracing someone who looks just like him. And now the Guardians are going from planet to find him. Because in the beginning of the trailer when they land on that unknown planet, Rocket is not with them. So they probably went there to find him. By the way, props to this random resident who was ready to throw hands. Also, there's a theory that the color of the title shows who is going to die in the movie. Spoiler for first two Guardian movies. First one was the color of Groot and he died. And second one was the color of Yondu and he died. So this is the color of Rocket. Maybe he is going to die. I don't know. We'll have to see. We get to see Gamora multiple times in the trailer. In one part, we see her with the Guardians. So I wonder how they will reunite. She and Nebula are supporting Drax, who seem to be shot in the chest. And the rest of the Guardians seem to be running away from something. Maybe it's the first time they meet Adam Warlock. And that reminds me, Dave Bautista said he will be walking away from the franchise after this. So it will be interesting to see if they will kill him off or give him a happy ending like he settles in some planet with his daughter while rest of the Guardians move on. Drax or Rocket are most likely dying in this one. And that puts me in weird position because both of them are my favorite Guardians. Will you care if a Guardian dies?
No.
No? Oh, don't cry, are you?
We see Nebula working with them and she actually seems to enjoy their company. It's nice to see how far she has come. This reaction of Quill really worries me. It has to be someone's death. The way he breaks his usual calm and composed self. And finally we get to see the actor with eyebrows as Adam Warlock. Just kidding. I am excited to see Will Poulter as Adam Warlock. He's gonna kill it or maybe kill them. Hopefully not, but again, we'll see. And the trailer ends with a funny moment between Quill and Drax. So now that the trailer is covered, I will share my thoughts. I think if Disney doesn't mess with James Gunn's vision, this could bring Marvel back on track. Guardian movies are always wacky, but let it be that if it has to. And like I said, this could be James Gunn's last MCU movie for a while, so do not mess with it. It is the end of the trilogy, end of an era. I'm excited to see who survives, who doesn't, how the character arcs will end. if it will be connected to the multiverse saga. Also, damn excited to hear the soundtrack of the movie. The soundtracks of James Gunn movies are always incredible. And that's all I have to say. My rambling comes to an end. Thank you for watching. Share your theories in the comments. If you like the video, press the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.